Good evening and a warm welcome to all educators joining us today. On behalf of CENTA, we are delighted to have you with us for another insightful session in our ongoing CENTA webinar series for teachers, a space where passionate educators come together to learn, reflect, and grow professionally. Your presence and participation continue to inspire us as we build a stronger, more empowered teaching community, and we are thrilled to say that we have come up with an initiative to make this space more structured towards learning, reflection, and growth. We have restructured the approach based on the center standard that is globally recognized and widely acknowledged. We'll share more information towards the end of the session. Now it is our pleasure to introduce the facilitator of this transformative session, Mr. Vijay B. Sir. Mr. Vijay, Mr. Vijay B. Sir serves as the academic head at Wales Global School, Chennai, bringing over 13 years of dedicated experience in mathematics education. He holds dual master's degree in engineering and education, reflecting a strong blend of subjects, expertise, and pedagogical depth. A recipient of the prestigious Times EduX Award and the Inspirational Guru Award 2024, Vijay Sir is recognized for his commitment to academic excellence and innovative instructional leadership. He is passionate about designing inclusive, student centered learning environments that foster curiosity, critical thinking, and conceptual clarity in mathematics. Beyond his institutional role, he is a mentor, avid reader, traveler, and published poet with works including Beyond My Vision and Inkscapes and Echoes. Deeply committed to transformative education, Vijay strives to inspire both educators and learner towards the sustained innovation and excellence. Now, back to the session. Welcome, Mr. Vijay, sir, once again, and over to you.
Namaste and a happy evening. Thank you, Miss Vishika Tomar, for your wonderful briefing about my profile. And namaste to all the educators, teachers, parents, and the common people who are working under the field of education who have come here to participate in my wonderful session called Thinking Game. So, I want you all to imagine something for a moment. Imagination. Yes, of course, it has been crafted in different ways with different possible thinking possibilities we have. So I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine your mind as a powerful game, which is a console of it. It has incredible capacity, speed, and intelligence. But like any other game, we don't understand the control, the game becomes frustrating. So today's session, the thinking game is about learning the controls of our own mind. So thinking, it is not about the intelligence or a memory. It decides how we react under pressure, how we learn from mistakes, and how we treat others, and how we feel about ourselves. So once again, welcome all of you for today's session, the thinking game strategies for mindful moments. So this session is not about marks, ranks, or results. It's about something far more important, that is how we think. Life is like a game. Every game has its own rules, its strategies, either winning or losing, or learning or moments. Thinking works exactly the same way. So when we learn the right thinking capsule of how to handle it, we play the game of life better. Before going into the session, I would like to have happy instructions to get started. So switch your phone to silent mode. That's very important to avoid distractions and to get minimal amount of distractions to be focused throughout the session. Turn your listening mode on, not just hearing mode. So listening is about making yourself available from your mind perspective. Keep a writing pad and the pen ready. I'll give you 2 minutes of time to be prepared with the writing pad and the pen ready, because we'll be having some activities and the reflection tool to perform. I hope all of you are ready. Yes. The modern brain problem, which is overloaded and overwhelmed. So, what is this modern brain about? So, I hope you can share your perspective about the modern brain, which is the wonderful tool we have. So, 1 minute. இது வேற டேப்ல ஓப்பன் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது. Yes, sorry for the glitches. So, the brain and the thinking, the simple science behind it. So, let's understand how our brain works. It's very simple. Our brain has two important systems, that is, emotional brain, which reacts so quickly, and the thinking brain, which responds wisely. Our emotional brain reacts in milliseconds and everything. But the thinking brain needs a few seconds. It helps us to reason, plan, and decide. So often we used to go to pilot mode. So what is autopilot mode? Are you really present? Statistics report says that we spend 40 to 50% of day in autopilot. That is, eating without noticing the taste, driving without remembering the route, and scrolling without the purpose. Usually we used to do it. You will feel very comfortable when you go in a two-wheeler rather than in a car. So that's all because of autopilot. And emotional hijack. So Dale Goldman clearly states about the amygdala, which triggers your emotions. What is emotional hijack? When you understand about amygdala, so that is because of your emotions getting triggered very quickly. So when you are in anger, you respond through a message very often. When you appear for exams, you get so panic about it. And when you speak, you'll get some fear, some butterfly effects, you'll get it. So these are all due to your emotional hijack. So what is the reason behind why do we need better thinking? That's very, very important. So when we say better thinking, Let me ask you a question. Have you ever read a page and not remembered anything? Yes, of course. We used to read a books in a very fast, slippery manner. Have you ever reacted in anger and regretted later? And have you ever felt mentally tired even without any physical work? Yes, of course. You're not alone. Research says that average human mind produces over 60,000 thoughts per day, and most of them are repetitive. And at the same time, our attention span has dropped from 12 seconds to nearly 8 seconds in recent years. So, this is not because we are weak or careless. It is because our minds are overloaded with informations but undertrained in focus. My dear participants, that is why better thinking is no longer optional, it is highly essential. So, what is mindful thinking? Mindful thinking, in the sense, are we aware of our action? Are we aware of doing what we are tend to do? Being present in the current moment, responding thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. So, mindfulness does not mean stopping thoughts, it means understanding your thoughts. So, think that your sky is your mind and your thoughts are the beautiful clouds. Your mindfulness teaches about how to notice the clouds without becoming a storm. So, when we think mindfully, we gain control over reactions, decisions, and emotions. So, mindful thinking is a life skill, it's not a spiritual concept or not a complicated theory. So, mindful thinking, to conclude with, knowing what you are thinking, understanding why are you thinking it, and choosing how to respond to it. For example, anger, it is a thought plus emotion, but fear, it is a thought plus imagination. But when you have a confidence, it is a thought plus belief. So mindfulness gives us a space between thought and action. So now it's an activity time. Activity means you will be very eager to know what is going to do happen in the mind. Yes, of course. So now experience of a mind usually works. Now I'll say a word and you respond quickly. Name a fruit, mango. Name a color, orange. Name a country, India. So notice something, your mind rushed it. This is how our brain functions most of the time. Very fast, very automatic and unfiltered. So today we are going to learn about how to slow down our mind without slowing down the life as we experience it. So now all of you take your notepad and your pen and jot down 5 things you see. Are you all along with me? Yes. So 5 grounding technique. 5 things that you see. You will write it down. What are all you are seeing? Yes. And 4 things you feel. How do you feel? Write it down. 3 things you hear. So what is the noise, or what is the sound, or buzzing sound, or vibrating sound, whatever maybe. 3 things you hear. And 2 things you smell. Whether it may be a perfume or a jasmine or anything. 2 things that you smell. And 1 thing you're grateful for. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope all of you have jotted down. So this simple exercise resets our mind. So, my dear participants, how do you feel now compared to before? When you rushed with the answers and now you implemented or you introduced your senses and gave your answer. So, now let's experience our default thinking mode. So, when I ask you to respond quickly, your brain uses automatic thinking. So, this is useful for walking, talking, simple actions. But automatic thinking becomes dangerous when we make decisions. We respond emotionally, we judge others, and we conclude something. So this activity shows us one thing very clearly, my dear. Our mind often reacts faster than it understands. So mindful thinking trains us to slow the reaction without losing its effectiveness. Now think like a game player. So why do I say game player? In games, mistakes are a part of learning. No one quits after one failure. Let that failure be a learning process. And neuroscience tells us when we respond or when we connect with the brain, learning happens through repetition and correction. So people who often play a game with the growth mindset, they handle failure better, they improve steadily, they stay confident, and the life is not about winning every time. It is about learning every time. If life is a game, what is your current level right now? Please reflect upon. What skill do you need to upgrade? May that be focus, may that be patience, let it be your confidence or your emotions. Every day, every moment is a chance to level up. So today we are going to have a wonderful transforming classrooms into thinking spaces. I had an acronym for you. PQRST game. So I wanted to note it down or think about what is P, what will be QRST game. So I have framed just an acronym based on PQRST. Before I begin, I want you to close your eyes. Whenever I say close your eyes, please close your eyes and gently think for 5 seconds. What are the 5 instances happened today? Early morning, waking from the bed, till now. What are the 5 instances that is present in your memory? Who spoke more, you or the students? How many students genuinely thought before answering? And how many were waiting for you to say?
Sir, we are hearing continuous. There are comments saying that there is continuous noise coming in from the back end when you are speaking. Can you put your phone a little bit away from the laptop so the sound stops?
Man, now, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Now is the sound audible? Sound? Could you hear it?
Uh, the noise is not there, sir. Can you try speaking once again?
Happy evening.
Yes, sir. There's no noise now. Also, can you present the presentation? Can you click on the presentation mode to present the slides? Great, sir. Over to you, sir. I think, sir, your one of your devices on mute. Can you unmute it?
Ma'am, can I proceed?
The presentation stopped, sir. Can you reshare your screen again?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, how many were waiting for you to say it's correct?
Today is not about adding one more activity to lesson teachers. It is about transforming your classroom from a teaching space into a thinking space. So this PQRST game is not a subject strategy, it is a thinking framework. It works for all the subjects. It even works during assembly discussions. So now let us discuss or explore right now. P, the first letter P is for pause power. So the importance of pausing or maintaining silence is not just empty, it is full of thinking. So, as educators, we are uncomfortable with silence. When we ask a question and within 2 seconds we rephrase it, am I right or wrong? We answer it, or we call a specific student to answer for the question. But research on classroom disclosure clearly shows that wait time increases from 2 seconds to even 5 to 10 seconds, the quality of student improves significantly. So when I ask a question, I'm not looking for the speed. I'm looking for the thinking process to be on. So after asking a question, silently count to five. Five, four, three, two, and one. Now ask the students to write the response before speaking. So you say, everyone think, no hands yet. It really reduces the anxiety. It gives introverted students also to have a processing time, and it really encourages the depth over the guessing. So P is for pause power. It is not the wasting time, it is investing in our cognition to perform to its fullest. Now, Q for questioning. So questioning, it's a very important tool to kindle the interest of the learners from the primary level to till the higher secondary level. A classroom that values questions builds confident learners. So traditionally and conventionally, teachers ask questions and students answer. Now let us reverse that. After teaching a concept, instead of asking, did you understand? Say, frame three questions about today's lesson or of today's topic. Create a question wall in your classroom and maintain an inquiry journal. And begin every class with a student question from the previous day that not only check the prior knowledge testing but also checks the understanding of the learner perspective. If students never question, they never truly own their knowledge. So when students ask why, what if, how does this connect with real life, they move from passive receivers to active learners and thinkers. So, my dear participants, remember answers build memory, but questions build intelligence. I hope you're all along with me. Yes. R is for reframing the perspectives. So, understanding deepens when perspective shifts from one form to the other. Rather, ask students how the story look from the villain's point of view. And what if gravity worked differently? If the apple doesn't hit the Newton's head, how come E is equal to mc square would have been originated? And how does economic issue affect viral and rural communities? So these type of questions pushes them towards higher order thinking, which leads to analysis, evaluation, and creation. In math, can you solve using a different method? In history and civics, what would the opposition party says for this question? And in environmental science, what happens if one variable changes? So this is rarely one person solves a specific problem that perspective differs. So reframing the perspective lead towards learning. It encourages the flexibility. It reduces the rigid thinking process so that we become the critical future thinkers. So Q is for questioning and R is for reframe perspectives. Yes. Yes is for something I usually don't mention in class, summarize. If students cannot summarize, they haven't internalized. At the end of the lesson, avoid asking any doubts. Children, are you having any doubts? Instead, summarize today's session in keywords. Turn to your partner and summarize. Have a collaborative learning. So, summarize. If students cannot summarize, peer explanation need not happen. So, when you ask them to summarize, peer and collaborative process can happen. So, this builds the retention process, which leads to metacognition.
Hi, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Sir, from R, could you please re explain because many people didn't hear what is R for and they are asking for it.
So R is nothing but our reframing our
Perspectives. So, whenever you reframe the perspective of a child by asking questions in math, how can they solve different methods, or how can a linear equation be solved differently? And in science, when variable changes or the direction proportionality changes, what will be the effect? So this will be the perspective or the focal lens to see a problem. So reframing the perspective, which develops our empathy, it encourages the flexibility, which leads to critical thinking. So yes is nothing but summarization. So if a student cannot summarize, they haven't internalized. So at the end of every lesson or a topic, avoid asking any doubts or any clarity required. Rather, ask them to write, explain today's lesson or a topic in 5 sentences with your own words, or jot down 5 keywords that you have learned newly today. So have a partner and summarize to them. Let it be a collaborative learning, and have some exit tickets to them, or else just a minute session, that is 1 minute reflection we can have, and mind map on the board or concept map on the board. This will all lead to peer explanation too. So S for summarization, which is thinking aloud in structured form. This builds retention, clarity, which leads to metacognition. Metacognition is nothing but the cognition level happening in their own perspective with a higher degrees of freedom. Now, when it comes to T, think like a game player. So whenever it comes to learning, it is a level-based journey. So students love games because they allow failure, they encourage re-entry and various levels. So use gamification as a tool in classroom. So this is a level 1 thinking. Can we unlock the level 2 children? Good attempt, kudos, bravo. So try these strategies, it really works. But basically, it reduces the fear of mistakes, it builds resilience in the child, it encourages experimentation also. So whenever failure becomes a feedback, learning becomes joyful. Now comes G. So PQRST, now comes G. Game of 5 whys. Why questioning is very, very deep and very important for any learner to sustain in the learning process. So surface problems, it hides the deeper causes. Instead of reacting immediately to behavior or academic issues, ask why. For example, homework not submitted. First, why? Sir, I forgot. Second, why? Sir, no schedule. Why? Third, why? Sir, no structured routine at home. Why? Sir, parents are not available. Why? Going, both of them are working. I am not being engaged. So now the intervention changes from punishment to support. So as educators, let us not solve the symptoms, rather let us solve the causes. We found out the root of a problem, which develops the analytical thinking and empathy towards a child of not doing the homework. So G is for game of 5 whys. Now A is act out scenarios. So what is acting out of scenarios? That is, whatever is being stored in memory, it is all about experiences. So whatever we experienced as life, it is being stored in memory. Do you all agree with me? Yes. So role play, a debate with a topic, which is a powerful tool, will students feel the concept which is designed for them. So use that as a tool for correcting some grammar or conducting some historical debates or moral dilemmas to be performed, to have any situation related to financial literacy and so on. So for example, instead of explaining demand and supply, create a class to market. We usually conduct Wales Sunday. So instead of explaining conflict resolution, please conduct a role play, which is a disagreement for it. So when students live the lesson or live the being what they have been given for, they remember it forever. So as per NEP 2020, experiential learning plays a major role in the emotional connection to the content. So M. So any guesses from M? Audience? What will be the M? I could see more participants responding. M for think innovatively and differently. Make it worse. M is make it worse. Sir, as educators, how can we make it worse? So remove the fear by exaggerating the wrong. So how can we make this classroom the noisiest ever? Ask this question to your students. Students laugh, they respond openly. Then reverse the question. So how do we prevent that? So this builds the ownership of any student or learner in the classroom, and they give their fullest participation, which also makes a collective rule making for it. So this make it worse will shift you from teacher imposed discipline to student created responsibility. So last but not the least, E, that is exploring the possibilities. So education must prepare for a future we cannot even predict. Usually we used to say expect the unexpected. Yes, every moment in our classroom is unexpected. Encourage the imagination present in them by giving optimism wall. So ask the students, what if exams were replaced with portfolios? What if humans lived underwater? What if this scientific law did not exist? What Newton's gravitation did not exist? Albert Einstein E is equal to mc square is not there. Which can replace that? So those creative thinking prepares our students for innovation and room for enlightenment even. So this PQRST game, GAME, is nothing but transforming classroom into thinking spaces. Now it's time for gratitude science. I want all of you to jot down, write 3 optimistic things that made your day. Today, many things would have happened, but I want you to jot down what are the 3 optimistic things that made your day. I hope you are all writing down 3 optimistic things that made your day. When it comes to positivity, we used to search, but when we want to complain or negativity, it comes faster. Have you all jotted down? So this science of gratitude is always working better, the best, always. So whenever we are grateful for what we have, which made positive these days, what we observe, even the finest thing, that will be a stepping stone for your next day. So now reflection habit, this is very, very important. Ask daily to yourself, what am I proud of from this experience? And what new perspective or skill did I gain? And how will I approach things differently the next time? So these 3 questions will open doors for multiple answers so that you make your self reflection a habit. I hope you are all noting down, what am I proud of from this experience? What new perspective or skill did I gain? And how will I approach things differently the next time? So next comes the time for self reflection. So whenever self reflection comes, I invite everyone to reflect upon which step can you start tomorrow, and which class or which area you need a pause power, and where can you introduce the 5 whys, for what scenario you want to introduce 5 whys, and how can you convert one lesson into a thinking lab. So when thinking becomes a routine, learning becomes powerful. So I hope all of you are there with me, my dear participants. Now when you see this, see, think, feel and say. By seeing this image, write a slogan based on this image. I'll give you 3 minutes of time. Write a slogan by seeing this image, by seeing it, by thinking it. You put your feel process to it and say in words, in a slogan. Any slogans have come, ma'am? So filter your thoughts and filter your mind before action. Okay. What else? That's great. So when you filter, your perspective differs. Action will be such a way that what we expected, more than that, it will happen. Okay. So to wrap up with today's session, and another image, what did you feel by this? What you see, and what is your thought process, and how do you feel, and what are your words on it? So the mind, a beautiful servant, a dangerous master. So let's all have our thinking process on, keep our mind to have lead a better life. So thinking is a lifelong game. The more mindful we are, the better, the best we live. So thank you so much for being an active and thoughtful and present today for this wonderful session. So let's all continue playing the thinking game, one mindful moment at a time. So it's time for the participants to question.
Thank you for joining us today, sir. I think we have some questions, so I'll just put on. Uh, First question is like, what is one mindful choice you can begin today?
Mindful choice from me.
Um, Sir, what is one mindful choice you can begin today? That's the question.
For me, I have asked the
Yes.
participants to say, so mindful choice, that is pause for a while before you take action. So keep your focus on and breathe in and breathe out, and then proceed your decision in whatever you are involved.
Okay, sir, we have another question. What mindful shift would most support your growth right now? What mindful shift would most support your growth right now?
Support my growth. Now, as a teacher, they
Support
are
your.
asking,
I think for the particular person they are asking.
okay, then the mindful shift for them as per the position where they are lying in. So, what is their um, nature of job or what work they are doing? In that only
Like as a
it differs.
teacher. As a teacher, like.
As a teacher, mindfulness plays a major role to bring in mindfulness techniques in today's classroom that will craft wonderfully, because whatever concept being taught in the class, when you involve mindfulness as an engaging activity, surely the reaching level will be high. Research studies shows that mindfulness have a greater impact in learning and getting knowledge at the right time.
Okay, sir, there is another question. What one reflective habit can you practice consistently this week?
Yes, reflective habit. That is, um, 1 minute reflection journal, or in any concept, or one period or 1 week when we taught a lesson, when we teach a lesson about light, we say. So, what is the skill or what are the 5 keywords that I have learned? So that is reflective journal. I can make it subject wise per week. So that will be the consistent, mindful, or um, consistent habit I can follow for my class students.
Okay, sir, we have two or three more question. Like, which habit most strengthens a reflective environment?
Reflective environment
Which habit you're saying?
Yeah, which habit most strengthens a reflective environment?
Always being in touch with the experiential learning process and connect with the real life example, connecting with interdisciplinary connect will always have a impact in the learning.
Okay, sir. As a school leader, how can I model pausing with intention so that challenges become opportunities for wisdom rather than moments of reaction?
Absolutely. So as a leader, when we pause for a while, that doesn't mean that we are neglecting. We are breathing in and breathing out, showing our silence as a symptom to take action further. So when we pause for a while, that will have a proper, consistent reaction towards it, which is a good sign of leadership traveling and bringing the organization to the next level.
Okay. Then how can I intentionally model calm and thoughtful decision making for those who look to me for guidance?
Absolutely. So it's a wonderful, valid question, Arirupa. Thank you so much. This quest actually calmness, empty board mindset also inculcates that blaming our responsibility and our understanding. So it is all aligned with us. So when we are calm within us, when we take decisions or when we take next step, will be so peaceful and also relevant to the particular um, context we are speaking with. So as a calm leader, practicing silence for 30 minutes, breathing in and breathing out will always work out.
Okay, sir, there is some people might have missed out the expansion of PQRST game. Can you just say the expansion of PQRST game again, please?
Yes. P for horsepower, Q for questioning, R for reframing the perspective, S for setting the context or surprise, T, think like a game player. I hope all of you are noting down. And G is nothing but game of five whys, asking five why questioning. A is nothing but acting out the scenarios. M is for make it the worst scenario. E is nothing but the exploring the possibilities. So PQRST game. GAME.
Sir, there is one more. There's a viewer is asking like how to achieve excellence through our mindfulness.
Yes. Achieve our excellence. That is who we are right now, focusing on the present and crafting our future and let the past be in the memory. So that beware of this current moment, acting at this present will always craft wonderful future. So that mindfulness will help you out for your inner growth. So when I say who am I, is that inner dimensions appear always success begins there.
Okay, sir, one more participant is asking when I make a mistake, how do I reflect, learn, and grow from the experience?
Absolutely. So whenever we make mistakes, let it not be an obstacle or the challenges. So let it be a learning from that. So I always say L for not losing, it is learning. So out of that, Albert Einstein or Thomas Alva Edison have said, what is the 10,000 ways of not finding out a bulb? I have found out. So see the positivity in him. 10,000 ways of not finding a bulb I have found out. So losing and the failure are becoming a learning. So if you take in that perspective, always we step in the ladder to the greatest.
Okay, sir, just last question. How might I nurture a culture of reflection that reduces reactive behavior in my learning community?
Yes, as a teacher, as educator for a period, 45 minutes. Last 5 minutes we can spend time for the reflection and closure by the reflective journal or exit tickets, or let's wrap up or sum it up. What is the gist of the today's class? So like that, we can internalize a child towards that, and we can focus on all the levels of learners that multiple intelligence present in our class that will be a successful learning outcomes.
So just a question has been posted by Shweta Gulati. Like how to stop overthinking.
Yes, absolutely. Lot of distractions, lot of in this generation of today's world, new era. Um, we used to overthink. That overthink creates more fear, anxiety, like that. So whenever we control overthinking process that is happening in our brain, so it's a very soft, delicate structure. So I humbly request the participants to think before you act, or think before you step whatever process you're doing it, not with a distractive mode. So that is very dangerous actually. And overthinking is the really the need of the hour, because many students are think or keeping them overthinking. They are involved in a process called developing their own fear and anxiety. So that is physically present, mentally absent in today's class. So those can be avoided by having a personal connect with the child.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this. We hope you found the session informative, and thank you, Mr. Vijay, for very engaging and informative session in our community of teachers. I'm sure that our teachers have a lot of takeaways from this session.
So thank you so much for all the educators for being patient enough to my for the session. Though many glitches were there, I kindly sorry for the inconvenience, and thank you so much for the center for giving me an opportunity also. So keep updated, and let's craft our thinking process on, and let it ignite our future thinkers. Thank you. Signing off, your Vijay B. Thank you.
Thank you for joining the session. I hope you found the session helpful. If you have registered and filled out the feedback form this session, check your participation record in the app in the My Learning section. I will guide you through the instructions. Step 1, open the Center app on your device. Step 2, navigate to the ongoing webinar section. Step 3, click on Submit Feedback. Please note that this option will be available at 6 p.m. IST. Step 4, at the end of the session, we will share a 4-digit code required for feedback. Enter this code to access the feedback form. um, 2476. I repeat, the code to access the feedback form is 2476 for this session. Step 5, complete the feedback form and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. This new process was introduced to streamline your experience and ensure your participation is instantly recognized. Centox has been thoughtfully restructured around themes aligned with center standards that are globally recognized and widely acknowledged. This updated structure will be implemented starting from the first week of March. Educators who are interested in facilitating CENTalks are warmly invited to visit centa.org/about us to explore the competencies and standards. You may also propose topics and key takeaways by writing to us at team@center.org. and our team will help you in aligning to the structured theme and competencies. Our team will be happy to review and connect with you based on the themes planned for each week. We look forward to a meaningful collaboration and shared learning experiences. Thank you all for your active participation in today's session. We truly appreciate your engagement. To register for more upcoming webinars, please visit the Center app. Have a wonderful evening.